naked shamanism. Welcome to Withinsightsradio. I'm your host, Iggy Garcia. I will take you on a journey across the universe through shamanism, metaphysical,
hello everybody,
and
Iggy here.
So sit back and relax and enjoy the show.
Iggy. A little short podcast here that I put together from time to time. Just wanted to say it's Monday. I hope everybody's having a good day. I hope everything's going well. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about just things we always kind of run into on a normal basis, okay? Everybody here on this planet is trying to do their best they can in the best moment they can and have the best situation they can. Doesn't always work out how we plan. It doesn't always happen the way we feel like it should happen. But as long as we're attempting to make some things better in our lives, then we're kind of winning the battle of sorts, if you want to say. So today, I was just curious because I want to see how you guys feel about this too. But I label my show the ChurchPew, and I call it the ChurchPew because I know a lot of you have a religious background stuff, just like myself. Most of us do, and a lot of us are very disconnected from religion, disconnected from certain types of belief systems. But either way, we're all disconnected or connected or reconnected and unconnected and reconnected and unconnected and reconnected and unconnected. You get my point. So, I was curious. Sometimes when I post things, I read what people, what they write. I try to legitimately answer some of the things that I see. And today has just been kind of one of those days, and nothing bad to report. But today's just been kind of a strange day. The last few days have been kind of really weird, like not hearing birds, the wind not blowing, and just we've been having tons of rain here and tornadoes and all kinds of crazy stuff. Not shouting it's the end times or anything. Excuse me, because I don't think that's what it is. I just really think Mother Earth is doing her thing, and she's calibrating. She's changing whatever she needs to change. She's popping a couple pimples, She's trying on a new dress size because as she gets bigger and as we produce, as we expand, the Earth expands too. So she's doing her thing. Now, the thing that happens is in the wake of it all, things happen to some of us. Some of us adjust, some of us don't. Some of us perish. And some of us, we move right along and we adjust and we adapt. Adaptability is very big being on this planet. You have to be able to adapt. So today I was reading some of the posts that I had, and I'm reading some of the comments, and somebody said, I need look for Jesus or whatever. So I'm thinking to myself, well, you're assuming that I have no relationship with the creator or creation or somebody, or that, and I totally respect that, that's where they're at. But I think we assume a lot about people, and because we see and because we portray and we project upon to the world an image of what we look like, or maybe how they perceive us. And so they may assume that maybe Iggy's not connected to, God, or connected to Jesus or Buddha, whatever. Okay, but I'm here to fix that and clarify that, and I shouldn't have to, but I want to. Okay, and pretty simple. And most of you have heard this quote before: "Nature is my church, love is my religion." You've also heard this one: "Nature is my religion, and the earth is my church." You get the point. My church pew, per se, is my truck. My church pew is Ash Cave. When I'm sitting there and working and drumming and dancing and singing and, being drunk with the Spirit. We forget that to being drunk with the Spirit, with the universe, with the Great Spirit, you have to dance, you have to sing, you have to be in connection with that. And if you're not in connection with that, it's really difficult to not do that. So a lot of us go around. I had a friend, I had to let him go because he saw the gay pride flag and he called it an abomination. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about, dude? It's an abomination. What's an abomination? The flag? Or because people want to be different than you? Because somebody has a different belief system? Because somebody has a different way of loving? You cannot help who you love. You love and you love, that's it. Okay? most of us agree to this, if Jesus came today, he wouldn't be hanging out, okay, with the governor or the president or anybody like that. He would be down on 5th and High, hanging out with the drunk guy, trying to talk to the prostitute to see how he can get her life back on track, okay? In the soup kitchen, feeding the poor, okay? Not going to Columbus Crew game or Ohio State football game unless, it's absolutely needed. But my point is, when we project on other people our belief systems, we have to be very careful how we do that, because we're assuming at this point, because we see something a certain way, that it's not. I went to the Pride, the Pride Festival here, the Pride Parade this weekend, and I was really touched by how much love was there and how much people really cared for one another, and that struggle and that thing they had to go through and the things they've had to overcome in their lives, just to show and let the world know, hey, you know what, we're human beings. We're freaking humans. We're people, who are trying to survive, trying to live. And, I didn't see any negative things go on. When I was in Pride, when I was watching, I didn't see anybody attack anybody, which is good. I've heard other things where people have been, verbally abused and stuff, but I didn't see that. What I saw was nothing but beautiful colors, beautiful menagerie of people, and a whole eclectic group of belief systems, and a whole just a parade of industry intermingled and intertwined with that. I thought was really beautiful. Now, it's too bad that we have to have one day and to honor this, but we have one day. They have one day. So I was sitting there going, Jesus would have been in this parade. Jesus would have been here. He would have been marching, and finding a way for people to find a direction to God, find a direction to spirit. I'm not trying to make this into a religious thing, but I'm just trying to shout out to my friends who are really connected and are really religious and very into Christianity. That, what, sometimes don't assume that people aren't connected to God, that they don't have a personal relationship with Jesus. I have a personal relationship with Jesus. It's my own. That's why it's called personal relationship, because I do it in the way that I find it's best, in the way we can do it together. I'm not a robot. I'm not going to do it like everybody. I'm not going to go step rank and file and just be, okay, we're all going to be the same. No, that's not how you connect with people. That's not how you don't connect except for the same type of people. You're going to attract the same thing. You want to connect with people who are lost, or you feel they're lost and they're sinners and they're hurting and they're being punished and they're going to go to hell. Then you have to find a better way to do it. You don't freaking rip someone down because they're different. You embrace the differences. The Catholic Church, I was raised Catholic. The Catholic Church embraced all the differences and all the taboos that they had. They brought it in and they merged it together because they knew that they wouldn't be able to connect with other people if you took it away from them. Because if someone takes something away from you at your house, whatever, you're lost. You don't like it. You don't like when someone comes into your space and just says, well, it's my space now and we're going to do whatever we want with it. Enjoy it, So my church pew is my truck, is, the weight station at Planet Fitness if I'm working out. Your church pew is wherever you want it to be. Your church is whatever you want it to be. Your connection to spirit is whatever you want it to be. I can't dictate that. No one should dictate to anybody what their connection to spirit and great spirit is, to God, to Jesus, to whatever you pray to. Because I'm not here to tell you who to pray to. I'm just telling you, if you have a personal relationship with Creator and creation, then it's yours. Don't let anybody in their doctrine of doctrines tell you, okay, that it has to be a certain way. No, it doesn't have to be a certain way, okay? All right? It doesn't, because everything's personal. With relationships with people, relationship with your animals, relationship with your plants, relationship with the earth. And that's why we're different. That's why we're all different. That's why we're all able to be part of this big, great fish bowl that we're in, because we are in a fish bowl, okay? Because the last time I checked, none of us can leave this fish bowl unless we die, and we don't even know if we leave when we die. But here's what it is. Your church is what you will make it. Your church and your religion is what you make it. So when someone tries to, parent you and tell you that, you need a personal relationship with somebody, maybe you do, maybe you don't. But sometimes people assume that you don't have a personal relationship with anything, and that's not true. And I would have to think that most of you have some kind of personal relationship with something out there. And for somebody else to assume that you don't have a personal relationship with the creation and with the Creator, then they're wrong. Just because somebody decides that their life is not important or whatever, they decide that they want to check out. Yeah, we feel sorry, we feel bad, but that was their choice. That was their contract. That was their sacred contract with with other human beings, with themselves. They're done. We don't know why people go into certain places in their minds and what happens there. Is it because they lack God? Is it because they lack religion? Because they lack love or empathy? Who knows? We really don't know. But to say that somebody needs to find this or find that, that's the answer. Maybe it is the answer. Maybe it's not. So for those of us who like to project onto other people and say, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that, think about it before. How would you like someone? Maybe you love it. Maybe you're into it. Maybe you're like, yeah, tell me. But not everybody's like that. I personally don't like when someone assumes that I don't have a personal relationship with Creator or with God or with Jesus or whatever. I don't like when somebody does that because they're assuming. They're assuming, and they're not really, and for me, I don't feel like they really are caring about what I'm feeling. They're only throwing it out there because they think that's the most logical thing to do, and then that's the answer. There's a gazillion answers to, connection to spirit. There's a gazillion ways to, be, in awe with life. You have to find what centers you, what connects you. There's too much control. We live in a world, in a paradigms, these old paradigms that try to bind us and control us and make us think a certain way. Oh, Iggy's the Antichrist. I'm the Antichrist. Right. Okay, whatever. No, I'm here to send a message that sometimes the people who are the most loving can be actually the most detrimental to people who are trying to find their way back or find a way at all. Because just because you found your way, think about it. Think before you open your mouth how you're going to approach somebody and wonder what is going on in their life. You have no clue what is happening in somebody's life. You don't have any idea what that person is suffering. And for you to just throw words and some kind of a mantra out there and think that it's okay, it can be very damaging sometimes to people and turn people off and turn people away. You know how I know this? Because I used to do it. I used to be that person. Oh, yeah, this, or throw this mantra out there, And you know what? You have to really kind of understand your brother and your sister, okay? You got to understand your brother and your sister. Your brother and your sister are suffering. I'm suffering, okay? Everybody suffers. Some days you guys have awesome days, and some days you have terrible days. And some days, you just have days that just don't make sense. Today, for me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't mean that I'm out of alignment with creation or my Creator or with, the person, the universe. No, I'm in big alignment with the universe because you know what? It just says to me that I'm aware, that I'm processing, that I'm, acknowledging that something is a little bit different than usually is. Okay? It doesn't mean that I'm lacking and don't have, or that I need this in my life or that in my life. I need to, accept. I don't know how many times I've been saved. My God. If we want to talk about that, because I screwed up a lot and I'm going to keep screwing up because that's just how humans do. We screw up. But as much as we screw up, we do great things too. We do amazing things. No one ever takes into account all the great things we do. Everybody always takes into account all the crappy shit that we do. There's a big list of all the crap that I've done wrong versus that good list that I have floating somewhere around in the universe. The Creator knows exactly what I've done, okay? But that's my point. My church pew is where my ass lands, okay? And then I have a choice to make a decision. How am I going to respond or react in that moment, okay? So, like I said, I'm not here to dictate your religion, my religion, or anybody's religion. I'm just here from an observation that I had today. And so for some of you who are watching, you might have to go back and play it because the observation was that someone assumed that I didn't have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. I have multiple personal relationships with Jesus Christ, okay? Because, in shamanism, in my proven shamanism, the religion is a huge factor. It's very connected into it. That's what a lot of people don't understand. People who really, truly understand shamanism to some degree and some level, especially proven shamans, we're very connected to our, our angels, and we're connected to spirits. We're connected to all that stuff. Don't think we're not. We're really, you have to be. There are guides, okay? But I'm just here just to kind of throw it out there. Like I said, like I said, I wrote it down because I thought it was important. I thought both of these were, nature is my religion and the earth is my church. That's one quote that I got off of the Google. Nature is my church. Love is my religion. And it is about love. It should all be love. I mean, I know sometimes love doesn't present itself in ways that we like, in ways that we think are positive. You know, sometimes we have to meander through the muck and through the crap in order to find our way. And when we have smooth sailing, enjoy the smooth sailing. And that's something sometimes I think we forget. We forget to enjoy the smooth sailing when we have it. And not that we're waiting for the other shoe to fall off. And we just have to enjoy the moments, the ebb and flow of life and how it works. Because that's how it is. We're humans. We're fragile. Okay? We will have our day. We will all one day say, hey, you know what? It's my time to go. Do we come back? Do we reincarnate? I don't know. It's whatever your belief is. I can't tell you what that's going to look like. Only you know what that is for you. And that's what it's about. I think it truly, truly, truly is about sharing. Truly, truly sharing the belief that you have with somebody and not imposing it on them. And finding and listening to, oh, wow, maybe there's a possibility to that. Maybe there's something really, that makes sense. You know, that makes sense. I get that. But we're so conditioned to try to fix and correct things. And I do it too. We all do something to that extent. You know, some of us are better at it than others. But, you know, I could be a really big asshole sometimes. And I don't mean to be. It's because I also have flaws. And I'm human. I'm a sinner. I'm whatever you want to call it. You know, I go through that stuff too. I have emotions. I cry. I sing. I laugh. I dance. So that's my point today, guys. It's just being aware of your brother and your sister who are out there, because they're all going through something. Everybody's having a bad day or good day. And, you know, sometimes our bad day trumps somebody else's bad day. And then we don't listen to that person. In that way, what we need to work on, what I would suggest is that work on you. Work on you in order so you can hear the other person and what they have to say. It's really hard to hear somebody else's grievances when you have your own grievances, and when you're down and you're not feeling connected or loved or in a flow that's very natural for you. Okay? And I know because I'm there right now. Tomorrow, later, you know. But, you know, I love you guys, you know, because I have to love me in order to love another. I have to learn what it means to love me. Sometimes it's difficult to love me. Sometimes it's difficult to find the good in myself, the things that I've done well. But I know it's in there. I know that inside my personal heart and all your personal hearts, there's good stuff. There's good mojo in there. There's good things that are very, very, very prevalent. And we've helped many, many people. We sometimes, you know, we keep a list and sometimes we don't. But I'm just suggesting that, you know, that sometimes think about what we say before we throw it out there. I know it's not easy. I know it can be hard. But like I said, my church pew is wherever my ass lands. Okay? Because I believe that. I believe that with my heart. I believe that with my soul. And, you know, sometimes we just assume because we're in some place that things have to be a certain way. It's not true. You create your reality. You create the environment. You create all the things that are in your life. We're the biggest, hugest manifestors and the hugest destructors in the whole entire universe. Okay? That's how powerful we are, that we can create and destroy all at the same time. Okay? But the cool thing about it is after we destroy something, we can create again. And then we can erase it and start over again. So it's kind of like, it's like the magic marker. Okay? You know, we just have to be specific on the things we truly want in our lives, the things that happen to our lives, and where they fall into our lives. Okay? So that's it. It's the Mind of Iggy, just a short, you know, cap on, you know, where I'm at right now. Things are getting better, but, you know, there's always these new trials. And, you know, we get these trials, and sometimes we have to make decisions while we're in these trials to move into the next phase of our lives, or, you know, cycle back into a new trial and then go through it again. We're always going to have some kind of trial, but the trials don't have to be horrible. They don't have to be, you know, difficult. All right, guys, that's it. It's time for me to sign off here. I will talk to you guys soon. I hope you enjoyed this topic. Remember, very soon. Love you very much. Take care.